Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the 2020 Global Read Aloud. I am Mr. Sarlo, and we are reading the book Planet Omar Accidental Trouble Magnet. And today we are going to be reading Chapter 7. So, really quickly, let's just go over what happened in Chapter 6. Omar finally attended his new school where he met his teacher, Mrs. Hutchinson, who he kind of described as being nice, but you could tell what kind of mood she was in by how the curls of her hair looked. Okay, so like if she was happy, they looked like sunshine, and if she was mad, it looked like a drill or something like that, he said. So that's how he described his teacher, Mrs. Hutchinson, and then he met a kid named Charlie who just told him that everything was okay. Didn't tell him things are good or bad at the school, that they were just okay. Okay, so like playground was okay, lunch was okay, school was okay, class was okay, etc., etc. But he did warn him to stay away from a kid named Daniel. And Omar, since he is the one telling this story in the first person here, he tells how at the end of chapter 6 he was telling how whenever somebody tells him to stay away from something, he gets more drawn to it like a magnet. Okay, which goes back to the title of our book, which kind of went back to the prediction that I made that he's going to be drawn to trouble. Trouble is going to find him, or he is going to attract trouble, or trouble is going to be attractive to him, so that he is, I guess, going to get in trouble, but I'm not sure how yet. All right, so let's go ahead and read chapter 7. I thought I was going to get through the day without any problems. Until lunchtime, that is. Daniel bounded up to Charlie and me and said, "The new kid and the weird kid sitting together. How nice." He said nice in a different way than when people normally say it. I wondered if it was sarcasm, but my sarcasm detector isn't very good. I can get confused when people say things all upside down. I tried to figure out if Daniel wasn't actually as bad as Charlie had warned, and he did think it was nice that we were sitting together, or if he was being mean because it obviously wasn't very nice of him to call Charlie the weird kid. Anyway, Mom and Dad say to always think about things before blurting them out. I could feel Charlie trying to think of what to say too. He was taking air into his lungs really deeply, as if he was preparing to say something and then opening his mouth and closing it again, but nothing came out. I think we were both silent for a super long time, which seemed to make Daniel very angry. He shouted, "Idiots!" before walking away. So I think when he said nice, he obviously wasn't being nice because now he's calling them idiots. So, that's not very nice. When he was gone, Charlie said, "See, he's always horrible to me." "Why?" I asked. "Did you two have a fight about something?" "No, he just hates me for no reason. I think he hates the whole class, but he hates me the most." Charlie looked so sad and so small, I couldn't help putting my arm around him, which made Charlie look at me and smile his toothy smile. So Charlie's like missing a tooth. When Mom picked me up later, I told her all about my new friend. I saw her breathe a phew. I guess she was worried about how good or not good my first day would be since I was so nervous. I also told her that I liked Mrs. Hutchinson and her amazing changing hair. Mom told me about her day, too. It sounded like she had a great time at her dream job poking at microscopic stuff with fancy equipment. And on the way home, she'd passed a chocolate shop, so she bought some for our neighbor to say hello properly. Thankfully, she had bought one of those fancy adult chocolate boxes with lots of dark chocolates in it, which are so yuck that I didn't wish the box was for me instead, which I normally do when we have to give chocolate to other people. I thought we could pop over when we get home. "Okay," I said slowly, remembering how grumpy the neighbor had been last time I saw her. We picked up Miriam and the little human thing we call a brother, who always comes home from preschool with half his lunch on his shirt. Mom had to clean Issa up before we popped over next door because she's embarrassed to have messy kids. She even said to me, "Wait, let me hair your run through my fingers." Ha 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 ha. Mom says things the wrong way around when she's hurrying. "You mean run your fingers through his hair," said Miriam, because she likes to correct people. Yes, yes, that, said Mom. And she marched us all over and took a deep breath and rang the doorbell. We waited. Nothing. We waited some more. Nothing. So I reached forward and rapped on the door really loud a few times. Why did you do that? Mom hissed like a quiet, angry snake. What? I shrugged. Maybe the doorbell isn't working. Well, it's rude, hissed Snake Mom, and just when the door opened quietly and eerily, like in horror movies, there stood an old lady, quite a short one, with lots of white hair and one of those cardigans that all old ladies wear. My grandma has one. We all said hi pretty much together, except Isa, who said Assalamu alaikum, like he had been taught to say to our Nani. The old lady was really weird because she just stood there without reacting. She didn't say hello, she just stared. Mom explained that we were the new neighbors. The old lady stared. Mom said, we just thought we'd come over to introduce ourselves. The old lady stared. Miriam gave me a secret whack on the arm, which was meant to say, OMG, this is so awkward. I gave her a secret whack back, which was meant to say, OMG, I know. Then Mom asked the creepy, rude next-door neighbor what her name was. Just when we thought she wouldn't say anything, she blurted out, Rogers, then slammed the door. I glanced up at Mom. She looked like one of those helium balloons that hardly has any helium left in it at all. And that is the end of Chapter 7. Next up, we will have Chapter 8, okay? So it seems like they finally met the neighbor lady who, remember in a couple of chapters ago, Omar and his sister Miriam were playing in the backyard, and the old lady just stared, okay? So Mom was trying to talk to the old lady here in this chapter, and the old lady kind of just stared. And then she yelled out her name was Rogers. So that could be her last name, but, you know, me just kind of reading into the context clues and the fact that she was just staring makes me think that maybe, you know, maybe she's sick. Maybe there's something wrong with the old lady that lives next door. You know, normally people just don't stare. So I don't know. We're going to have to read more and find out more. Omar told his mom about his day and how he met a friend. And then we also had Daniel kind of not being so nice to Omar and his friend. What was his friend's name? To Omar and Charlie. He was like, you know, he came up to them and said, you know, oh, it's the weird kid and the new kid sitting together. How nice. Like, said it sarcastically, and then called them idiots when they didn't say anything back to him. So I think Daniel is going to be a big problem. And now I'm wondering about the old lady that lives next door. So we're going to have to read on to find out. And we will see you guys next time for Planet Omar Chapter 8. See you later.